What's up, YouTube? This is Big Fish, and we're here with another reaction video. Today, we're going to be talking about the city that I live in, Denver. The people of Denver woke up to a safer city, says DEA special agent on Colorado raid. And this wasn't even ICE. This is Drug Enforcement Agency out here putting in work. This is what we like to see. This is what we want to see. We want communication. We want everybody to play along. We're all on the same side. We're all Americans. We're trying to get the illegals out of here, and especially the ones that are criminals. Let's get started.
Images over the weekend as we see nonstop action on immigration crackdowns across the country, a flood of ICE raids leading to more than 1,000 arrests and more than 500 ICE detainers.
And I want to say all the sanctuary states, 1, 2, 3. I wanted to say Georgia's possibly one. I don't think Texas sanctuary, and I don't know about New Jersey, but this is where I'm at.
These are added to the list that we saw over the course of last week. Moments from now, I'll speak with DEA agent in Colorado who was involved in this early morning raid on what they said was a makeshift nightclub party that they pulled people out of, and that there were many members in there of the violent Venezuelan gang.
The TREN de Aragua.
But first, let's go to our correspondent, Alexis McAdams, here in New York with the latest. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Martha. Well, this is what Trump said on day one when he was campaigning. He was going to go after what they said is the worst first on the streets, arresting migrants who they say committed a wide range of crimes like drug trafficking, gun charges, and child sex crimes. And those raids are far from over.
And the child sex crimes are the most egregious. We have to protect our children.
I think the president's happy, but we're going to make him a lot happier. Yesterday was just day one, and these raids are going to go out throughout the country. We're not going to let up. We put our foot on the gas, and we're going to go.
Big
this
homing,
weekend, ICE
big
raids
homing.
From Chicago to Miami, arrests in Philly, and soon ICE says crackdowns right here in New York City. Texas had teams on the ground finding 3 rifles, 2 pistols, and more than 3,000 rounds of ammo. So
hey, one of those people, it said it was in Miami. He had it on a Bonefish and Grill. If you don't know about Bonefish and Grill, that place is fire.
is telling me that a member of the Sinaloa drug cartel out of Mexico was carrying those weapons when he was arrested in El Paso, Texas. Just the other day, ICE agents also found a large bag of cocaine with more than 120 kilos of that drug packed right inside this bag. Investigators say a group of migrants were planning to traffic that right into our country. And out in Colorado, federal agents from the DEA raiding a party in the Denver area. This was part of an ongoing investigation into that Venezuelan gang, TREN de Aragua. The team says 50 migrants were arrested. ICE ran dozens of background checks, and they put them on this bus and took them away. This continues here as the DA Rocky Mountain team says they busted this party so quickly, Martha, they still had some of those cervezas still left on camera and still left on ICE.
I saw that. Thank you very much, Alexis. So with that, we bring in Jonathan Pullen, who was at the helm of that Denver area raid. He is a special agent in charge of the DEA's Rocky Mountain Field Division, and he has led investigations targeting terror.
You look like an old baby. You see that? He got the bags and then the little beard. Outside of that smooth little head, that face, he look like an old baby.
Tourism and drug trafficking. Thank you very much, Special Agent Pullen. It's good to have you with us. You know, give us a sense of how you tracked this makeshift party location down, what was happening in there, and who was apprehended, Agent.
Yeah, thank you, Martha, for having us. So we've been following TDA here in Denver for a number of months. When I first arrived here in Colorado 7 months ago as the new special agent in charge, saying the words TDA around the city.
And ICE was a part of this raid. It's amazing. Just a few months ago, while the election was happening, they were saying nothing was happening in Denver. In Aurora, they said none of the complexes were getting taken over, or it was just a few complexes. 1 or 2 is too many when we're talking about Americans being safe. This is wild. And now we got them seizing all of these drugs, weapons, cash, money. Over 50 plus people. What are we doing?
City of Denver was like saying a 4-letter word in church. No one wanted to talk about it. But then my agents finally and quickly realized that we had a TDA trafficker who moved around 12 kilos of fentanyl across the mountains, coming into the city. So that really started us looking at these traffickers and what they were doing and who they were associated with. And then, so for the next several months, we've been able to identify more and more of them, link them to other states, link them to numerous other countries, follow them between these sort of makeshift nightclubs. And that's what you see in the images on the screen now. The culmination was a federal search warrant executed at one of those makeshift nightclubs where we found about 50 people inside on early Sunday morning.
Were there drugs and weapons in there?
Absolutely. So these are dangerous criminals. You've seen from those videos that came out of Aurora a few months ago, these guys are carrying pistols and AK-47. These are serious bad guys. So we showed up in force. There were pistols found inside several of them. We found cocaine. We found crack.
That could have led to about a battle. Thank God none of our officers were harmed while they were doing this. Looks like it was easy. Caught them off guard. Didn't know what was about to happen. It is crazy that the Democrats let all of these people pass the border just so they can win the next elections. Why? Kamala saying, I was at the border. No, you weren't. She said, we are safe. No, we're not. And Biden was asleep. So, it's crazy.
Crack cocaine. We also found a drug called 2C, also known as pink cocaine.
Pink cocaine.
So you've been on the job for 7 months. What's
I use pink
different
salts
now under this leadership than it was even a couple of months ago?
So this has been an ongoing investigation for DEA, but I can tell you what's different now, I think, is that there's a renewed focus on the most violent criminals in our cities and across the nation. And I think that's an important thing. You know, I'm a citizen of the Denver area too, and I want to wake up to a safer city. And I think that's what happened here. We took, over 40 people into custody. A lot of these people have criminal records. And so I think the people in the city of Denver woke up today to a safer city.
So, Mayor Johnston had been very outspoken, the mayor of Denver, about what would happen if there were raids and that the...
Mike Johnson sucks. I believe Washington is calling him to bring in evidence to show they weren't tampering or trying to hide, and they were trying to actually involve themselves to help ICE since they are federal. Him. Brennan Adams up in New York, and Mayor Brennan Johnson down in Chicago, and I believe there was one more person who was also involved in it. But yeah, if we can put them in jail, I would love that. For obstructing, getting in our way. And then I heard that Brennan Johnson been taking gifts. He's got a gift room, but he doesn't know nothing about. Man, there's so much that I have to cover. There are other content creators are covering, but I also got to get a bite of it.
The people of his city would protect immigrants who were living in the city from any kind of raids against them. And yet now he's saying, what happened here on camera that we're showing you, he just gave us a statement, didn't happen in Denver, but if it had, he would have been supportive. Do you see a change in the way that leadership in Denver and in Colorado is talking about all of this now?
Cap.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the politicians are walking some of those statements back. I mean, look, we're here to protect public safety, right? I mean, on this raid, we had DEA out there, as you can see. We had ATF, we had Homeland Security, we had ICE agents, as well as some local partners with us as well, too. So everyone wants a safer neighborhood to live in. So, people can say what they want about, cooperating or not cooperating with ICE, but listen, DEA is conducting drug investigations all across the United States. Sometimes those include illegal immigrants. And so we're going to use all the resources at the DEA has to remove these people from the country if they need to be.
Well, what do you think? I mean, we saw TREN DE ARAGUA in many cases, roaming freely. They've been tracked in 18 states. I think we have a map if we didn't show.
One of those 18 states is my birthplace of Tennessee. I heard they're in the major cities, Memphis, Nashville, and Chattanooga, and Knoxville. So yes, they're traveling. They're getting around. They're making sure that they hit everywhere. They're killing our Americans. We already got a homeless epidemic that we got to worry about. But first, we got to deal with the illegal immigrants pandemic.
show it already, of all the states that this group is in. So once they start seeing raids and crackdowns and arrests like we saw last night in your area, what do you think the impact is going to be
Absolutely
on their
disgusting.
aggressiveness in the U.S.?
Well, I think they're going to probably start to scatter a little bit. I mean, I think that's what we're going to see here. We certainly didn't arrest all of them in Colorado yesterday, but we took quite a few off the streets. But typically when these type of things happen, they move to other locations. So we're going to see them scatter. But I think what people need to know is that, gangs like this are a real threat to our public safety. And so are cartels like the Sinaloa and CJ&G cartel. They all sort of cooperate and work together. And these are violent people that we're going to really continue to work hard to get off the streets.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I'm just curious, when I look at this video, some of the people arrested are women that I see handcuffed. Are they members of TREN DE ARAGUA as well that you arrested last night?
So, it's a very diverse group. I'm looking at a list here, Martha, and we had folks, most of them were from Venezuela, but we had El Salvador, Mexico, Honduras, Cuba, Romania, and Italy. So, these people are all connected to this gang in one way or the other because it was an invitation-only party, but they're all associated.
Yeah. Not necessarily a party motive. Most of us want to be invited to. And you guys were not invited, but thank you for showing up anyway. Special
Absolutely.
Agent Jonathan Pullen, always good to see you. Thank you.
We are living in some wild times where we got gangs just running all around America. And this gang is bringing people from everywhere. I'm about to go to Europe in October. I went last year, had a ball. I'm going back again so I can have another ball. But this is wild. This is absolutely crazy. Who would have thought in 2000 and then going on to 24 years, coming to 2024, now we're in 2025, that we will be having this type of epidemic? We already knew about the cartel. But who would have thought TREN DE ARAGUA would have been taken over? This is what Trump ran on. One of the many things he ran on. It is wild. Tomorrow I want to cover, I was going to cover today, but I thought this was more important because I live in Denver. Man, Illinois has got some problem. Down in Dawson, there's a mayor named Tiffany Hayward. I don't know how she's not in jail yet, but they had a little town meeting, and it got kind of ratchet in there. So I'm going to cover that tomorrow. All right, y'all. Go down to the comment section. Tell me something, how you feel about the video. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. This is Big Fish. We're out. Peace.